So there's no getting around it. For the umpteenth time, geriatrics is the least popular specialty. But why is that? And why would any young doctor choose it? After digging through the match data and kind of going through different surveys, I think there's a couple things worth considering here. First off, is it something wrong with the field itself? Do geriatricians that are practicing seem pretty unhappy? If you Google geriatric satisfaction, scroll down to the American Geriatric Society's website, they'll note, based off these surveys, that geriatricians seem to be one of the highest, if not the highest, rating as far as job satisfaction goes, albeit this is, studies that were done about 15 years ago. And this is encouraging data, but it doesn't really explain why, if the doctors that are practicing seem to like it, why are young doctors not choosing it? So while they don't survey applicants directly, if you look at the surveys that they send out to the geriatric fellowship program directors, they'll note that income seems to be a pretty big factor, at least based off of the 4 that they can pick from in the survey. So while there's always exceptions, pay is often slightly lower for geriatrics than just run-of-the-mill FM and IM. And that's, a big hurdle for specialties like geriatrics, infectious disease, nephrology, because the applicants and trainees go through extra years of training, and you, at the end of it, while you're practicing in a new field of medicine that you might love a lot, you are making slightly less or around the same income wise. And so that's a big hurdle when, if you an FM doc can go out into the Midwest, start making 300 plus thousand a year, or an internal medicine doc can get a hospitalist job and easily make over that. It should be noted, I think, that the reason that those specialties do tend to make a little bit more, in a like when you're practicing in a more general role, is because you're seeing a much higher volume of patients, generating a lot more RVUs, in run-of-the-mill FM and like internal med hospitalist practices. Prestige is sometimes noted as a factor. I think that's mostly just kind of based off of competitiveness. I think our brains naturally just assign more competition with more value. But I think when you look at the rates of people turning 65, you look at the rates of Alzheimer's going up, I think there's going to be a lot of respect that comes when you can say, yeah, I'm an Alzheimer's specialist, or I specialize in taking care of the elderly. So yeah, I think just because something is more competitive maybe doesn't mean it's the right choice for you. Maybe it is, but also maybe it's not. I think the final reason that geriatrics has a lower fill rate is that people can oftentimes get jobs in the field of geriatrics without doing the fellowship. And so I think that grads, when they're kind of trying to decide that holds geriatrics back more than even specialties like nephrology and infectious disease. And that was definitely something that I personally struggled with, trying to decide if I wanted to tack on this year of fellowship. But I think one thing that is a good consideration is that coming out of residency, you really don't get a lot of training in nursing home practice, or to be comfortable as a sniffist, or to care for people with Alzheimer's and different dementias. So I think that kind of leads pretty well into some good reasons to choose fellowship.